Sunday, the 1st of December 2019, was a day of joy, thanksgiving and celebration for Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu as she celebrated the platinum age of 70 amidst pomp and glee. The event was held at St. John's Anglican Church, Falamo, Lagos. The celebrant, pretty and amiable Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu, was born on the 1st of December 1949 in Nsugwo village in Umunze, Anambra State. At that time, the education of the girl child was almost a taboo, as it was a general belief that it was a waste of resources to educate the girl child. However, young Agnes had a rare opportunity to go to school at a very early stage of her life. But her beauty became an obstacle, as she was immediately spotted by a bustling young man who asked for her hand in marriage. The young Agnes got married at a very tender age to Igwe Matthias Nwanfo Ugochukwu, the Abalekete of Umunze, Igwe Urumba, and Ezehazurume of Igbo land. The marriage is blessed with 8 children and 22 grandchildren. Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu is a very industrious woman who has a lot of businesses to her name. She has been described as a woman with a heart of gold. In attendance at the church service was General Ike Nwachukwu retired, among other important personalities. The service began with the opening hymn, Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven, which was led by the choir. Thereafter, Bible readings were taken by the officiating priests as the choir led the congregation in more hymnal renditions. In the sermon by Brother Emeka Anudo of St. John's Anglican Church, Falamo, he said, Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu's kind gesture over the years is very commendable, saying such contributions to humanity should be emulated. He urged the congregation, especially her children, to follow in her footsteps. But Emeka Anudo also prayed that God will continually keep Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu in good health and sound mind.
There is no way you can tell her anything about God that she will turn it down. Even if it means going to that distance, she will make it. Even if it means contributing to that, she will do that. And even if it means to bring suggestions on how to go about it, she will comfortably do that. So, Mama is a woman that loves the things of God. And the things of God, they also ginger her, they give her extra joy. I know most people of her cadre, they may want to belong to different clubs, different associations, or to move with a particular class of people, but she's not the type. She's very much dedicated to the things of God.
The Thanksgiving session was next as friends and family members of the celebrant danced and glorified God for the life of Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu at 70. Immediately after the church service, all roads led to the Royal Oak Event Center, Lekki, Lagos, which was exquisitely decorated for the reception ceremony to celebrate Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu at 70. The event, which was compared by Ugochukwu Onyebule, popularly known as Okebakase, had in attendance dignitaries like former Governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, the Chairman UBA, Mr. Tony Lumelu, as well as many other important personalities. The celebration, which was an evening of fun and merriment, began with a special performance by the Talent Veil Group as the celebrant made her first entry into the hall, waving gracefully at her guests. There was a cultural presentation by the Mpokiti Cultural Troupe from Anambra State. A documentary of tributes from grandchildren of Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu, who were unavoidably absent, was shown to guests. The cake cutting exercise was next, after which series of photo and video sessions followed.
And as you cut this cake, may Almighty God continue to bless you with health, surround you with the warmth of family. As you cut this cake in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please a big round of applause, for Grandma.
In-laws and friends of Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu also had remarkable things to say about the celebrant. They described her as a caring and virtuous woman. The vote of thanks was said by the third daughter of the celebrant, Honorable Nikki Ugochukwu, during which she appreciated all for honoring her mother in such a great way. She also seized the opportunity to appreciate her mother once again for being the best mother any child could ask for.
A strong woman, I look up to you. There is none like you. You are my rock, mommy. I love you so much. I can't thank you enough. I just want to, before I start crying, I just want to say, mommy, there is none like you in this world. I celebrate you today. My prayer for you is that God will continue to bless you. He will continue to strengthen you. He will continue to keep you in perfect health. My only prayer is that when I become a mother, that I am able to be half as amazing as the mother you were, because you really taught me how to be an amazing person.
Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu's first granddaughter, Oluebubunwanna, also appreciated her grandmother and prayed that God grants her many more years so they can share more grandmother-granddaughter moments together.
It is a pleasure to be here and wishing our grandmother a beautiful birthday, a happy birthday on behalf of all the grandchildren. I would name names, but I myself, I don't know all the cousins I have, because there's a whole lot, and that just goes to show the blessings of God Almighty in the Agnes Ugochukwu family.
The birthday celebration ended on a high note as Flavor serenaded guests to his beautiful medleys that got everyone dancing till the very end.
For everywhere, and I know they like that get for up and down. Oh, baby, na tomato, baby, too fresh like morning wine. And I will
From Biscon Communications, it's 70 hearty cheers to Mrs. Agnes Ugochukwu. Happy birthday, Ma.